So I'm just leaving Elite Acura. Let me tell you, my experience was super dope. The intake for your vehicle was packed with tires, making that tire impression. So anyway, this video is about OEM parts. And as I said in prior videos, I'm sorry for the format because I was trying kind of ninja my video here. That when I go to buy parts, and today I've been running around all morning buying parts. I haven't even really spent much time in a shop other than getting in at 8 o'clock, find out what's going on, get everyone started, go to Philly, pick up a part, come back, see what's going on in the shop, follow up on vehicles that we're working on, where we're at, what's going on, warranty fuel pump job, running outside for over an hour, making sure that there's no leak from the high pressure fuel pump, ship that car. All right, go to Elite Acura, pick up the vent valve. All right, so we don't use anything for evap other than OEM. No fugazi here. Here's the receipt. This part cost me $79. And this $79, I can trust this $79 79 times more than any aftermarket part for evap. That's why I buy OEM evap. And our goal is to not wait for these guys to deliver a thing a day or 2 or 3 later. For me, I have enough flexibility where I don't need to be in the shop 100% of the time, although I don't like being out of the shop at all, that I can go pick this part up, increase efficiency of delivering the vehicle back to the customer the same day. Because the phone call on Saturday was 3 days for us to get this, and I'm like, no, find a Beck Arnley part, call a couple other Acura dealers and see who has it. And if that's the way it is, then it's the way it is. If it's not, then I don't mind driving. I'll tell Rachel, I don't mind driving 2 hours to go get a part as long as it's early in the day to get the customer's car back to them. Sometimes I'm just standing around making content or in my own head on why we're not busy or why I don't have anything to do. So I'm gonna rate my experience here A++. And you see that I drive to Northeast Philly to Dunphy Ford over Maple Shade Ford. I pay the extra gas and tolls because those guys give me 100% of what I need all the time. That means from answering the phone, hold times, accuracy, on and on and on. So even though this was a simple thing, that for me it was very streamlined. But if you're using aftermarket parts to fix evap systems, you are wasting your time. That's all. I just want to tell you that, show you that, because some people probably don't believe that. Oh, Anthony, you're not driving around getting OEM parts for your customers and their jobs. Absolutely 100% I am. Driving to dealerships to get parts because I can't trust a lot of aftermarket parts, and especially evap. And especially O2 sensors. There's a certain amount of product lines that I will not put on a customer's car, and I don't care. I won't do it. And there's certain parts that customers call and say, hey, I have this part from some online place. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't put that on your car if it was the last part on the earth. I wouldn't do it. I'll refuse to work. Or hey, I have O2 sensors from Amazon or eBay or mass airflow sensor. If it isn't OEM, don't waste your time. You will never know if you're fixing your car with parts quality issues because you may know 100% that this evap, just like Eric O said, I know that this vent valve is bad. The other shop confirmed it. I confirmed it. What I can't confirm is this crappa auto parts vent valve is going to work or stay working. I know that I have a part from Acura OEM that I'm going to tell you that I trust this part 100%. Has OEM let me down? Absolutely 100%. AC Delco fuel pump let me down in my bay today. Starter from Kia and Hyundai, brand new, let me down. I mean, they are the rarest of letdowns, and as I talk to more of these parts people and have our relationships become more fluid than I'm just an account, name and number, that I'm like, hey, you guys have a problem with this? We're like, dude, it's crazy the problems we have with this. Or hey, this is a problem. Or hey, this is a problem. And Wow, I'm surprised you haven't run into this because we're having tons of problems, you know. And sometimes it gets to a point to where that new customer, and I'm just going to take, I don't know, sway bars that have bonded sway bar to frame bushings. If you don't know what that is, it's when they permanently bond the sway bar bushing to the sway bar, and what happens is as the suspension starts to wear or the vehicle gets some mileage on it, it's not necessarily it needs struts and upper control arm bushings, but the sway bar has been pushed so far out of what the bonding and bushing can take that they break. And what does that do? Causes clunking noises. Primarily we find that on your higher end exotic vehicles and Jeeps, that lower mileage vehicles from 0 to 30,000 miles, if not even less, that depending on the driveways the customers go in and the transitions they constantly drive, it will break a sway bar bushing bonding or break the bushing, and it only comes on a sway bar. Not every driver is the same. Now that new customer who's used to buying a new car all the time is very in tune to what his car should sound like, because their ass sits in a new car every 2 to 3 years, and they know that a car should not make any noises. Now a customer that it's their first used newer purchase, they're coming out of a clunker, meaning everything clunks and squeaks and rattles and every warning light's on. They know what a worn out vehicle is. They don't know what a slightly worn out vehicle is. And then those small inconsistencies in those product lines, saying, I don't know, we'll just say a creak from the suspension or a thump from the suspension all the time, that they don't realize is not normal. But the guy who buys a new car knows that that's not normal. That's facts. So customers who don't know, and I believe there's a lot of them out there, and then there's customers who do know that, hey, my tires are too noisy, or hey, my struts are bad, or hey, there's a suspension noise. And I just did one with a Jeep that was still under warranty, and the Jeep was at a dealership for warranty repairs. The techs missed front end issues. They did 2 pieces, missed the other issues. They said, F this car, I've had enough of it at 30,000 miles. And the car went to auction. And then my used car dealership purchased it for recon. His mechanics couldn't figure it out. And then he came to me and I figured it out, and the car was still under warranty. But that car was already in for warranty suspension work before it went to auction. Just the tech missed it. Why? You had an open checkbook to fix that car, dealership. In the VIN number said, whatever this customer wants and needs, ring every bell, call everyone, and just take care of it, because they've complained so many times about issues with that car, to the point to where the customer said, F it, I don't want this car anymore, I can't take it. So yes, some people know that, hey, I bought this car, it never sounded like this, and then here we go, 10, 20,000, 30,000 miles later, it's a bucket of bolts. Well, that's what I traded in. Even for me, when I buy new vehicles, I can tell that the suspension in 10,000 miles is about 30% worn by the way that I drive a car. It does not handle, it does not feel the same way at 10,000 miles. At 30,000 miles, it's even worse. At 60,000 miles, which I've never kept a new car to 60,000 miles. It's usually within the first 3 years of 36. I don't lease vehicles anymore myself. My son has a new lease. But yeah, there's definitely a difference on how far a vehicle decays mechanically and interior wise, seat, suspension, bushings, all that in 10,000 miles. Now every driver is a little different. That they can wear the shit out of a car in 30,000 miles, like completely wear the crap out of it. And then others can go 30,000 miles and not have any problems. It's not every vehicle, it's not every customer. It's all specific. Not every human is the same. Not every human responds the same to cigarettes and alcohol that others do. Just the way that it goes. All right, I'm rambling here, and the format's not the way that I want to put it out there, but thanks for watching.